Okay, greetings everyone and welcome to our Route 40 session. I'm here to speak with Lorna Anders, who was a former dancer with Ekome Arts and has gone on to do many wonderful things, which I'm going to leave Lorna to tell you as part of our interview. Now, this, as I said, is an insight into the journeys of our artists of African heritage who have made a significant contribution to the performing arts sector in the UK. So Lorna, welcome.
Welcome, thank you, Judith.
You're welcome. Right, and so my first question to you is, how did you get involved in dance?
In dance, well, I've been in the arts since I was really young, from primary school, you could say. Yeah. But it was mainly speaking and introducing things and acting. And I was involved in a play when I was 11, and the Bristol West Indian Community Relations Officer approached me at the time to ask me if I could be involved in the Bristol West Indian dance team. I think it was only going for about a few months or maybe the maximum a year. Mm-hmm. And she wanted me to join. So she invited me to a performance, and there was this girl on stage. She was really dark skinned and she had this most beautiful smile, and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to do that. I want to be on stage like that and do, just she was just so charismatic. And
do you remember her name?
Claudia Leaf. Yes, I think her name was Claudia Leaf. And yeah, it was just amazing. And so after that I was convinced I wanted to join this team. Plus they were doing songs that were traditional West Indian dances and they were in these short mini skirts. It was in the 60s. Things like Fan Mi So Javad Fan Mi, and Jamaica Farewell, which is a really elegant.
I remember Jamaica Farewell from school. Yeah.
So these dances, and soon after I joined, and we performed in the first Bristol West Indian Carnival. They call it Carnival now, but we called it the Bristol Festival, St. Paul's Festival.
That's right.
We were on the floats, and it was pretty dodgy. No health and safety, holding on to a chair. But we were, that hooked me really.
It was fun. Yeah. So from that, you formed, or your family formed Ekome. Do you want to say a little bit about how
we went on to join the team one by one? People started to join the Bristol West Indian dance team, and we had Terry Romain, who was a fantastic Trinidadian dance teacher.
Right.
Absolutely brilliant. He could do all styles. He not only did the traditional stuff, he did African, he did contemporary ballet, the whole lot. So from there, I went on to university. Actually, I came to London to study dance in detail. I just couldn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was no music, and I'm used to dancing to music, drums, the whole lot, because Terry would include all these things. And so at the time, Steel and Skin formed, they had a music band, but they wanted dancers. So they did a workshop in Bristol, and we joined in the workshop. That's myself, a couple of my sisters, and my brother. No, I don't even sure if Barry would. No, Barry wasn't involved just yet. So we did this workshop for 2 weeks, and I was hooked then on African dance because it was just amazing. I never popped my body in those ways before. Like I said, Terry knew different styles, but this one was just completely different. And the drumming as well just made it magic. So from there, we formed two dances, Tokwe and Panlogo. So we did those two, and with Steel and Skin as our backing. And from there, we got very, very popular, and we decided to break off, and that's how Ekome was formed, really. Right. And then we had more people, different dance teachers throughout the year. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. That's amazing. And I know when we're ready to do the full-length documentary, you can tell us step by step your journey.
Sure.
But as I said, this is a taster, so I'm going to go on now to nowadays.
Stop me, I can prattle.
No, not at all. I mean, I get so engrossed that I forget about the time.
Oh, the time as well. Yes.
So just moving you into now, what are you doing now as far as the arts is concerned with respect to?
Right. Well, I stopped for a while. I stopped for a while to bring up the family, and I've now I've gone back into acting since
Right.
2014, 15. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Right. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, so over the years, I know you said you stopped and you've come back in. Would you say that your work in the arts has sustained you financially?
It did for a long time, and then I wanted to purchase like a property, so it wasn't enough really. You know what it's
Yeah,
like in the arts; it's just bitsy from
that's
time
right.
to time. So I took on, and I trained as a teacher as well. So I
Okay.
started to teach in social services and then in other social community environment, and it just took over really in a way. So I ended up doing that full time. Um, because for me, I'm very committed to anything I do. So if
Hmm.
I start something, even though it was part time, then it gave me more and gave me more. So again, the arts kind of drifted off in that way. So I didn't pursue the arts in that way. So yeah,
Right.
and that's what sustained me up until now. But I really, really missed it. And so
Yeah.
in 2014, I just thought, no, what is it that brings me to life? And I
Yes.
knew it was definitely being within the performing arts.
Right. Right. Good.
But yeah, and it's sustaining me now. That's the question, wasn't it?
You
Yes.
just feel like you've come back to it now.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think if I set my mind to something, I can do it. And
Yeah.
that's what I've done over the years, the different arts companies I've performed with, include Ekome and Dagati, lots of different companies. It's
Yes.
it's what I wanted to do, and I just make up my mind and I go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I remember seeing you when I went to work for Irie Dance Theatre.
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah.
saw some old black and white pictures of you guys
Mhm.
performing, and I recognized you straight away.
Yes,
You
that's right.
performed
I
with
forgot
Irie.
I did that too,
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
initiate a lot of companies actually, So
yes.
Irish was one where I think Jackie Guy came over, did a workshop, and he wanted black dancers. So I was invited again to join that particular workshop, and then
Yeah,
Ivy came out of that.
of
Yeah,
that. Amazing,
black and
amazing.
white pictures.
Yeah, made it look like it was like in the 40s or something. I think it was the way that they did it, but it was beautiful, lovely, lovely
Yeah.
photo. I want to ask you, what was your most memorable moment over the years of performing and so on? What kind of sticks
Okay,
out? I'm sure you've got
yeah.
many.
One I really loved doing, and it is pretty memorable. Is I joined an Indian dance company. It was Pan Project,
Hmm.
and within this company, it was a troupe of Indian dancers, and they invited me as an African dancer to perform. But on the stage, we had to build. I had to build the stage. So come
Right.
on with bits of metal, and then dance on, build the metal. It was a huge orb on the
Yeah,
stage. Very scary because it was I had to come on with each piece in the dark and
yeah,
then build it, and I have to find the connections, And then once it was, if I didn't fix it correctly, then the dancers could actually have an accident as well because they went
yeah,
into it and they danced on it, around it. But it was using my dance skills, African dance skills and Indian, because I had to learn Indian dance as well,
hmm,
and then build this orb, and then we all performed in it. And this was done in Portugal, so I just
amazing.
love that. I love being really creative as well, and that
Yeah,
was one of the most memorable
memorable
for
moment.
me. Yeah. Mm.
Amazing, thank you. And lastly, because I can hear somebody going, no,
You
no,
get
no,
it?
no.
Little so and so.
Bless him. For the patients,
Uh,
what advice would you give
mm,
to the next person, the next artist, the next generation coming up? Things that you know now that you didn't know then.
okay. I would say for any generation, just go for what you want. Don't let anybody stop you. I mean, all the way through my performing arts, they kept saying, dance isn't going to pay. What you want to do that for?
Yeah,
All those sort of negative voices. And
yeah,
for some reason, when you got a passion for something, I think you just go for it. So that's
yeah,
what I would advise. Don't let anybody dampen your passion. And also, well, they always said to me as well, you need a second job to to tide you along the way.
yes,
And for me, I do always had, different strings to my bow.
Yes.
But you have to keep that passion going as well. Yeah, keep your focus. That might be there to pay the bills, but keep your focus on what you want.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
I enjoyed that as well, Judy.
Yeah, short and sweet. So we look forward to the next installment, which will be the fuller story in the documentary. All right.
I'll expand and chat my mouth off.
You can relax then, kick back.
Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lorna.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.